bienvenidos a una nueva entrevista. Hoy no estoy solo, como podéis ver, estoy aquí acompañado por Lilo. ¿Qué tal estamos, Lilo?
Siempre bien y genial acompañados hoy, la verdad.
And we are not alone because we are also with Team Schou from Denmark. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys? I wish I could speak Spanish. It sounds so beautiful.
Thank you so much. First of all, how do you pronounce your surname? How do you pronounce that?
So in Danish, it's Schou, but ever since anybody outside of Denmark has tried to pronounce it, it's always been Schou.
Okay, so it's Team Schou.
Yeah, that's the correct
Okay.
pronunciation, but you can call me whatever you want.
Okay, I think that's really important for us. I want to ask you, first of all, congratulations for being in the Danish national final. How are you feeling about the reaction from the people to your song from this year? It's proud.
Oh man, it's just been a beautiful experience so far. Everybody's been so nice, and the important thing is that people really, they're taking the message from the song, and they understand it, and they really, it feels like people are slowly being inspired by the message of the song, of being proud of who you are, and just being proud of the people you have in your life as well. So it seems like people are making that song already about their own lives, which was my goal when I wrote it.
Lilo?
And why did you choose to go back to a pre-selection when you already have a Eurovision background? Like, what was different this time? Why did you thought that this was the correct time to go back to Eurovision?
I wanted more. No, it's for me, I guess I've been, like you said, I did it back in 2011. It's almost a lifetime ago. It's 14 years ago. And through my journey of going from being in a band to starting my own solo career, and just couch surfing all over the world for 7 years without a home, I was trying to discover who I wanted to both to be as a person, but also to, like, who am I as a musician, and what kind of artist am I when I'm a solo artist. So I went on this like long self-discovery, which has brought me so many amazing memories and experiences, and people that I've met along my journey. But I think at the end of this discovery, after signing with different labels around the world and trying really these like things that I thought I dreamed of, signing with a major label and really checking the crosses off the boxes of dreams, I just have come to the end of that discovery, and I discovered that I still have this Eurovision bug just crawling around under my skin. And I think that's really been a lovely discovery, because it's been like, okay, I did all of this, but I'm still just so connected to that bubble that Eurovision is. And then when I wrote this song, it felt like that was a complete, perfect sum of my whole journey from 2011 to 2025. And so it just felt like the right time to go back into the game.
Talking about your history back in Eurovision, what are the things that you learned from being in the contest that you are going to apply for your participation this year?
I think the biggest difference is going to be the fact that I'm a bit more grown up now than I was back in 2011. I went from being a young man to being a bit more of an adult, and I think that's going to present itself in the way that I'm able to breathe a bit more. I'm able to experience the whole thing a bit more than I was, because when you're a young person, like, things just move really fast, at least for me. I still have a lot of energy, but I'm able to like preserve the energy and really understand, okay, what's going on and how am I gonna be able to make the most of this experience. So I can't wait to do that in 25.
And how was the moment when they told you that you were about to go to the pre-selection of your country? How did it happen?
I just had this smile on my face when I was told. I wrote the song, and I wrote the song after I had made the decision that I wanted to present it to the people who decide who gets to go to the pre-selection. Um, so I went into the studio trying to write this song that was going to be my kind of way back into to the Eurovision. And I wrote the song. The first song I wrote in that process last year was the first of maybe between 15 and 20 songs
Oh my god.
that I was like, okay, I'm writing these songs, and hopefully one of them is going to be good enough to be in the pre-selection and be the song I want to present. And the funny thing, after like half a year, I ended up with the first song that I wrote, because that was my initial, my initial heart of how I wanted to write a song that was the right song for me to participate with. So obviously, when they called me and said that they had chosen that song, it was just a big relief and a big kind of like, okay, I'm on the right path, and I chose right. I followed my heart, and that feels beautiful.
Mhm. You have just told us that you wrote about 14 to 15 songs to present. What are your plans for those songs that you have written and they have not come out?
There, my first idea was to make an album called "Songs for Eurovision,"
Oh, oh, interesting.
but
So,
but 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 um but the truth of the matter is that I'm gonna put out an EP with 4 to 5 songs. That's Yeah, that's gonna be put out right after the Danish pre-selection here.
Mhm.
Um, Regardless of the outcome of the competition, I'm gonna put out songs, and some of those songs are gonna be some of those songs that I wrote last year for the purpose of Eurovision. So that was also a big part of my process, was that I wanted this to be more than just these 3 minutes of fame, and I wanted it to weigh more. So it was very important for me that I'm building music around this platform that Eurovision is.
Mhm. Lilo?
and like out of all the contestants, which one is your favorite, or which one is the one you connect the most with,
From
besides yours, of
from
course?
from the Danish pre-selection,
Yeah, from the Danish pre-selection.
I would say like the one I connect the most with, that would probably have to be Andreas Kruse, I think.
Yeah.
I forget what the song is called. I have it right here.
What and Andrea? Oh my god.
Uh,
What was the name?
Hear My Prayer.
Yeah.
Hear My Prayer. Just because like I feel like Andreas is closest to my heart in terms of genre. Like he's very indie pop, and also the guy is just really down to earth. Yeah,
Hmm.
it kind of
And
reminds me of like remember Duncan?
yeah, Duncan Lawrence.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So back when you were in Eurovision, you were not alone. You were with a band. So why did you decide to present this year as yourself?
Oh man, I think I decided that because I've been doing my solo career for 10 years now. Since
Mhm.
2014, I've been playing shows as a solo artist, and yeah, traveling everywhere as a solo artist. So that just made a lot of sense to come on the show as the musician and artist that I've been working on for over a decade now. Um, Instead of trying to put together a new band or something like that. This just felt more authentic, and that's very important to me.
Mhm.
And like you told us before that you felt that this was the song that was the perfect one and the perfect timing. But how do you want to make people feel about the song? Like how, what was the, what's the thing that you want people to relate with kind of the song?
Yeah, I hope for people to, when they listen to the song, I hope they think about their own lives, and I like about their own lifetime, like span of their journey, and they look at it and they go, wow, like I did these all these things. I may have had ups and downs, but I'm still here, and there's always something to be proud of. Um, so I just hope that people can relate to this song in their own lives,
Mhm.
whatever people got going on. For me, it's a love letter to my younger self. For other people, it could be about, it could be about somebody in their lives that they're proud of. So yeah, it started out as a love letter to myself, but it ended as a bigger message to yeah, for love and being proud.
We know that you cannot tell a lot of about the thing that I'm going to ask you right now, but how are you going to tell that story behind your song on the staging that you are going to do in your national selection?
I think my song and my performance is a lot about being authentic. Um, and I think the whole delivery of the message of the song is about being authentic and being kind of, I don't know, very grounded somehow in the stage show. So it's been very important not to just be like, okay, it's Eurovision. We got to have 100 dancers and we got to have feathers and all these fun things that are fun if that's the kind of song. But this one is a bit more grass rooted and a bit more singer songwritery, but it's still a pop kind of anthem. So we're gonna try to still bring like a lot of energy into the performance. And I might have called one of my old band members from a friend in
Oh.
London. So maybe your viewers can try to guess who that is.
All
Hmm.
right. Um, so about the reception that you're feeling already about the song, like how is it being received in Denmark, in your home country?
It's just being received really well. It's working really well on radio. The biggest station in Denmark, they're playing the song 2 to 3 times a day,
Oh.
so that's very exciting. And then I mean the streaming is going pretty well too. And and then like everyone that I know and people that are texting me are just they're just connecting to the genuine message of the song. And again, that was my whole goal and mission of this. I do want to win the competition, and I because that gives me the permission to really close the full circle that I'm trying to make here by going back. Um, but the mission was to have something that people can connect to and something
Mhm.
that feels real to me as well.
Mhm. Talking a bit more about yourself, nowadays we live in a world where you can find anything you want on the internet. So I want to ask you if you can tell us something about yourself that even if we try to, we cannot be able to find on the internet.
Ooh, that's a good one. There's definitely like you can find it on the internet, but I think it's the fewest people who know that I have a festival every year, that my own festival where we're only 100 people maximum guests.
Oh.
And it started like 10 years ago, so this year we have a 10-year anniversary, and it's in my hometown, 1 hour from Copenhagen, and it's
Oh.
just a beautiful weekend. And we started the first couple of years, we actually had a lot of people from, even from the Eurovision days, like the fans from back then used to travel. Like at one point we were like fans and guests from 10 different countries. But then Corona came, and then it was kind of like, okay, back to just being Danish guests. So if anybody out there wants to come to Denmark this year, we're doing it in July, and it's called Schou Camp or Schou Camp. Yeah, you guys can come from Spain if you want. You can come from Iceland. Yeah,
Oh,
but there's only 30 tickets left.
oh, we have to
All
be
right,
quick.
all right.
Yeah.
I have to say that I personally was a huge fan of A Friend in London back in the day, and I was always looking for your songs and so. And you guys released so little back in the day. Like, what happened? What was going on
Oh, like with the band?
with the band? Yeah, like five
Yeah.
or four. Oh,
Um. So you're asking why we didn't release more music,
yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
Right. I think like from 2011 when we won the show in Denmark and then went on to the Eurovision and doing pretty well.
Hmm.
We were kind of like not ready to release our music yet. Even though the pressure of the breakthrough wanting us to like, okay, you gotta fucking release something. Oops. Um, and like so we kind of wanted to just wait a bit with releasing something, and then we released our album that we had spent some time in Canada producing and recording, and then when that came, we toured, a couple of years, but the thing is, with when we did the Eurovision, we went from being an indie band, an underground indie band, um, rehearsing and writing our songs in a basement and all those things. And then going from that to like this breakthrough of being a commercially broken through artist overnight, kind of puts this weird pressure on you. And all of a sudden, you have people from the music business, publishers and record labels, and they go, okay, we got to have another hit, and it's got to be as good as New Tomorrow. And then I think what happened for us was we were so young that we didn't fight for the music that we actually had, worked on for like 8 years before Eurovision. So I think that's what happened. We were like, okay, I guess we got to do what you guys say, and yeah, and so I guess that's why you couldn't find more music from us, which is also why we stopped and we ended in 2014, because we were like, you know what, we did all the things we wanted live wise. We played arenas around Europe, and we had a blast creating music. But one thing that I do regret is putting out more music. So I'm glad you feel the same way.
So I want to ask you something more about yourself, even if we want to. Um, Maybe we have talked a lot about your song this year and back then. Do you maybe have a favorite from this year? Have you been following Eurovision this year? The national selection that have been.
No, I haven't. I haven't yet. We've been so much in a tunnel vision with the rehearsals and the costume fittings and all this stuff for the
Yeah.
Danish pre-selection. So I haven't heard anything. I heard the Norwegian one that just
Mhm.
won the. I heard it was very techno. Is that right?
Yeah, good to really
Ish,
be.
ish.
Ish.
Okay, cool. What do you guys think about like last year when I saw Eurovision?
Mhm.
Um, like all the songs were extremely hyped. Like
Yeah.
the more and more like what do you think about that involvement of the contest?
I'm missing kinda. Like, I'm not saying that those type of songs they are missing soul, but I do look for kind of more genuine stuff, or at
Mhm.
least something that, I mean, Eurovision at the end of the day, or at least it feels like it. It's like a celebration of music around
Mhm.
Europe,
Yeah.
and at least to me, it feels that we are relaying kind of the same type of genres instead of celebrating what makes us unique, and
Right.
that also has something to do with something more of us, like more, even more personal, even if it has nothing to do with the identity of your country. And but because lately we're only seeing songs, or like not even winning Eurovision but in the top charts, that they are all like full of energy and like hype, and so I think that's what's missing now,
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah, and nowadays we are relying a lot into the show, I think, because back in the days Eurovision was more about the music, but
Yeah.
nowadays I believe that the show has really taken a lot of place in Eurovision.
Mhm.
So the people really vote a lot for the show that they are watching, even if the song is not really good or that. If the show is good enough, the people are going to vote up
Right.
the performance and
Yeah,
whole the
that's
whole
something.
package.
Yeah, for sure. That's something about Eurovision and TV in general. People are always going to vote for what they feel. Like you can't really mess with that. Even if it's techno or something, it's still got to be somehow genuine in the genre that the artist is has decided to participate with.
Lilo?
And regardless of any genre or country or so, what's your favorite Eurovision song to today?
I think one of the ones that always has like stood out to me was the Portuguese what's it called, Salvador.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Amar Pelusois.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, speaking of authenticity and genuineness, like he was just one in a million, I feel like, you know. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
because like it was like produced by her sister and written by both of them, and it was just like a super small team. And they were
Yeah.
not even using the big stage; they were just using a small platform.
Yeah,
Mm.
so
So
amazing, so amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were. I think that they were the only ones that were not delivering so that year. They were just
yeah,
intimos.
Hmm.
yeah, like Salvador was not even in a record label; like it was
No.
just both of
Right.
them.
Yeah, yeah. So cool.
Mhm.
Right?
And not talking about not talking about the Eurovision as a whole. Do you have a favorite Eurovision song from Denmark?
Uh New Tomorrow by a Friend in London.
I think that is good. I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, really good.
Mm,
But I also
Lilo?
love the Olsen brothers for sure. Fly on the
Oh,
Wings of Love.
oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Nice,
Classic.
nice. So classic. Yeah.
yo ya estoy. Unai,
Okay.
do you have anything else?
No, I just want to say, Tim, that thank you for being with us. That if you want to say something for all of the people that is going to be watching this interview, not only in Spain but from other countries, that is now your moment to tell everything that you want to all of the people that is going to be watching this interview.
Right. Well, first of all, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone who's been tuning in since 2011. It's been such a crazy ride, and I owe a lot to the people who's been there from the start. And then we've been talking a lot about like genuineness and intimateness and being authentic. So I just wanted to invite anybody who would want to be a bit more intimate about the music with me, because I have a Patreon where we have a little group of people where I'm really sharing like a lot more than I am on the normal social media. So if anybody is interested in digging down into the process of the music, feel free to join there on Patreon.
So thank you so much, Tim, for being with us. Good luck in your pre-selection and in the Danish selection. Hope
Thank you.
you get a lot of good result there. and we will be following the things that you are going to be doing from now on, even if we have been doing that since 2011. So, gracias Lilo por haber estado conmigo esta tarde.
Vosotros.
Y nada, eso ha sido todo. Muchas gracias por haber estado. See you soon and thank you so much everybody. Bye bye.
Gracias. Bye bye.